Star Trek Picard, episode 7, 8, and 9. I'm Joe. Please subscribe to this channel. So I had big plans, as I always end up doing with all my YouTube reviews, to do them in a timely manner and blah, blah, blah. And that didn't happen. As society crumbled before our very eyes, as did my desire to do YouTube videos. But I'm back. And I want to get caught up on what we missed on episode 7, 8, and 9 of Picard in the hopes of doing an immediate review of episode 10, but I make no guarantees. Episode 7, Nepenthe, was the best episode they've done all season. Not just before episodes 8 and 9 came out, but afterwards. The best episode they've done all season. Fantastic. It's what I wanted all season long. It was everything I liked about this show. It was awesome. Number one, Troy, fantastic. What can you say? They were their characters again. They just sat back into the roles after so many years and sat into those roles well from the TNG, not the movies, but from the TNG era. It answered the questions of where they had been, what they had done. You know, you got a real sense in that hour of where their lives had been. And where their lives had been was, you know, it felt like Riker was a captain of the Titan for a period of time, maybe a decade or so, maybe a little bit more, before one of his children got sick, and they went to that planet to try to get him better because it had regenerative qualities in the soil and in the whole land. It didn't go so well, so they lost one of their children. That kind of informs where they've been, informs where they've been living. It was great. They were great in it. Their interaction with Picard was great in it. It was just a fantastic episode. Thanks for coming, Hugh. It was a shame that they killed off Hugh, but what are you gonna do? It's another thing to blame Picard. Picard left him there. Picard showed up, and now he's dead. That's thanks you, Picard. That's another one of Picard's character flaws throughout this whole season, was that he's just managing to screw up everybody's lives, and he pretty much led to the death of you. So I blame Picard for that. Riker's daughter, she was great. I don't know what to say. She was a fantastic character, well acted. I hope we see more of her. Agnes's motivation, she had sort of like a botched mind meld that made her go crazy and made her do what she did. I don't know if you can really blame her. She kind of was under duress for her murdering of her boyfriend, but we'll see where that goes. I couldn't believe when they showed the trophy, and he picked up the trophy of Thad. It said Thaddeus Troy Riker. And I thought to myself, God, Riker is so alpha. And he lets his children take his wife's name. Now I can understand her being Counselor Deanna Troy Riker. But I can't understand Riker becoming Troy Riker. I can't understand his children becoming Troy Riker. That does not seem like the alpha male that Riker is. I guess that kind of plays in with the whole matriarchal tone of a lot of things you see on this show, specifically the fact that both the Zhat Vash and the Quelat Malat are all women. So, whatever, but I was a little shocked by that. I was equally shocked by the fact that they made a pizza that was the size of one you'd get from Blaze Pizza, which is an individual pan pizza. The pizza they cooked was the size of that pizza, and they served 4 adults and a child with it, and a teenage child. And Riker looks like he's about 325 pounds. So don't tell me that satisfied anybody that dinner. Marina Sirtis, she's Trek royalty at this point. 7 seasons of The Next Generation. She did a guest spot on Voyager as because Barclay was on Voyager. She did a guest spot on Enterprise. She did 4 films. And she was in the back credits. Why did she not get special guest appearance? She's friggin' Trek royalty. I'm gonna move on to Broken Pieces, which is episode 8. This is where I feel that the show has started to sort of slip. It's become a little bit of a race to the end. Whereas Nepenthe was just this fantastic, slow, take you through the story, make you feel what's happening. broken pieces. It just starts scrambling together to find a way to the end. And it wasn't bad. I'm happy this show exists, but I think they're gonna it looks like they're going the Discovery way as they get closer to the end. If you saw the preview for episode 10, you just see space battle. It's cool what's happening with Rios. He's a fantastic character. It was kind of cool that you saw the whole business with his 5 different holographs in a meeting with Raffi, and she's trying to piece things together. But the race to the end starts with him, because it's like his whole backstory was that he was on the Imaged. He was the first officer of a ship that the captain exterminated a couple of synths who happened to come from the planet they're going to come to in episode 9. One of them, by the way, was named Beautiful Flower, and the other looked just like Soji. So it's just ultra convenient that this is where it comes to. This is why he's so broken, because he's directly tied into this story. It's just too much, too easy, too convenient, and too much of a race to the end, and too much to get everybody connected to the plot. The hug for all of us. When 7 of 9 arrives, Eleanor runs and gives her a big ol' hug. It was like all of us just wanted to go and feel those big memories on our chest. Thank you, Eleanor. You did it for all of us. What did 7 of 9 actually do, though? That was the thing. It felt so rushed. I know she took over the cube, but it was weird. It was like she took over the cube, and then most of the Borgs were killed, but then she managed to tap into a few of them who got to Narissa before she beamed out. And by the way, she beamed out. I saw some reviews that were saying stuff like, was she assimilated? Was she killed? It's like, no, there was a flash of green light you see under the pile, and then the ships fly off. So she clearly beamed out. And we haven't seen the last of her, thank God. But yeah, what did 7 do? It felt very rushed. It was cool, but it felt so rushed. This moment where she kind of reconnects herself to the Borg and even becomes the queen felt rushed. So I don't know, that's why I didn't like that. On the La Serena, it was just a bunch of talking. It was cool, but it was, like I said, just a rush to find the plot points. It was kind of boring as all this action is happening with the Borg cube that felt rushed. It wasn't a fantastic episode. Now let's move on to episode 9. We get there, we get to this planet, and you could just tell immediately something's just not right. We learn what the admonition really is, and what it is that it is a calling cry from a synthetic or artificial intelligence that is rallying around, wants to rally synths. It feels like it's control. They haven't really said. So obviously it feels obvious it's going to tie into Discovery with the control, with the thing that they tried to prevent, which the thing that they went deep into the future to prevent. It feels like there was a time travel aspect of Discovery Season 2, so it would make sense that Control would somehow plant the seed back in the past to lead to what happens here. So it feels like it's Control somehow. Whatever, you learn that the message was not for the Romulans, the message was for synths. Synthetics are going to destroy the universe, which they are going to destroy the universe because you think they're a threat, so you're going to fight them, but the artificial intelligence synthetics know that humans think you're a threat, and they're going to eventually destroy you. So it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that was planted there. They are the destroyers. So I guess the Romulans are right. The most interesting part about Brent Spiner's appearance on this episode was not the character, was the fact that it was now his sixth character in Star Trek universe. He played Data, he played Lore, he played Noonien Sung, he played B4, I believe it was Arik Sung on Enterprise, a descendant of the Sungs, and now Alton Sung, the son that we never knew that Noonien Sung had. I'm very highly suspicious he's going to be an actual flesh and blood son of Noonien Sung, especially with that golem, I think she said, a body forming there, and him saying some immediacy for mind transfer. So I don't know what that is. Maybe he's going to be like the Data's mother, which was a character in the TNG where they found a lady who was at one point Sung's wife, but she actually ended up being an android who looked completely human. So Sung had already kind of mastered this completely human android thing, but she wasn't flesh and blood android like Soji. She was still had mechanical parts. So maybe he's going to be something like that, because if you remember, that lady had a limited lifespan. She was going to grow old and just shut off. Maybe he realizes what he is and he's going to shut off soon. I don't know. I just know that he cannot be Sung's actual son, and he's already naughty. And every other android beyond Data was flawed in some way, especially Lore. 218 ships. Their whole planet was destroyed, but they still have 218 warbirds. Go figure. They're coming. They're going to come and destroy this planet, which only has a few handful of these flowers or orchids, which they say, they said they had 10 left, but I think the girl, Sutra, said that they had 24, so they were able to manufacture a few. I don't know what's happening with that. Soji turned on Picard, but she'll turn back good. Girardi stayed there. She turned a little bit, but she'll turn good. Narek was let out by Sutra, who was hot. That's it. I mean, Soji's already very cute and gorgeous and everything like that, but they just throw a bunch of bronze makeup on her and make her eyes fake green and forget about it. She was fantastic. And she's naughty, of course. So who knows what's going to happen there. Picard's dying. He told everybody he's dying. He still looks still looks fine. There's already theories about that whole blob of a body there that they're going to transfer his mind into that to keep it going. I don't know. I just know they're kind of racing to the end. But overall, they were not bad episodes. I just feel like the plot a little is thinning out, even though it should be bulking up. And it felt like maybe the whole pacing of the season was wrong. Maybe they kind of plotted along to this moment, and now it's just a race to the end. So that could be an issue, but overall, I can't complain. If I'm going to say one thing about this season overall, it was the fact that episode 7 happened. That episode made the entire season worth it. And I hope in season 2 they do more stuff like that with other TNG characters. Specifically, Worf. I think he deserves an episode like that. I look forward to the season finale of Picard. It's going to be a lot of stuff exploding, a lot of flowers in space, gobbling up Romulan warbirds. Who knows how it's going to end? Hopefully it's not a cliffhanger. Hopefully it's some resolution. And stay safe, stay secure. Please subscribe to my channel. Until next time, I'm Joe. Subscribe. Hey, you gonna subscribe?